coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland and M&T Bank Stadium. Here's the scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Seattle Seahawks. Brandon Gaudin alongside the one and only Charles Davis. And CD, lots of compelling storylines in a game like this. Let's take a look at some of the numbers for these two offenses.
And I'm glad you brought up the numbers, because sometimes it's hard to quantify a team's performance solely by judging the numbers. But I think with these two teams, what you see is a pretty accurate representation of who they are.
Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll start with the option. The quick feet by Jackson. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 82 yards. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. Well, I mean, Lamar Jackson, what more can we say at this point? He is a living, breathing highlight reel. And go ahead and tack on that last play to the list of big ones by number 8.
I think defensively, when you look at a play like that, that's when everyone looks at their teammates and starts shaking their heads a little bit, because now you're wondering, what are we in for? Worked all week to try and limit the big play ability that he possesses, and he winds up taking one to the house in the very first quarter. That was a tremendous run.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And it'll be a touchback as Tyler Lockett says, I'm not going to return this one. Here come the Seahawks and their offense now under veteran head coach Pete Carroll. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away, because they have a lot of confidence in their talent too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and you know they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it. But otherwise, just go ahead and calm your team down. Run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle in.
7 yards, the pickup there. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now Smith. And it's incomplete. Getting in there to break that one up, Rock Ya-Sin.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Now a first down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, a loss of 2.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. First carry for the former Buckeye, J.K. Dobbins. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
Here we go, here we go.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down. And it is still early, just the first quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already, and we've still got 3 quarters to go.
Jackson going to run again. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Pretty ideal right there. Keep it yourself, get the first down, and get the heck out of bounds.
And knowing him, I believe he's thinking, I can get a few more yards if I just lower my shoulder. But he also hears that second voice in his head. His head coach and probably his agent too saying, get out of bounds, man. Don't do that.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now a handoff for Dobbins. It's a first down and more for Dobbins. And all the way down to the 17-yard line.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the 2nd round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football out of the backfield? To be able to get him in the 2nd round, that's what I call a steal.
Right back to Dobbins on first. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
On 2nd down, it's Edwards. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Draymond Jones coming in to drop it for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession. And the first play will be a field goal try. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So that one on target, and it adds to this first-half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about one-score lead, two-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And it'll be a touchback as Tyler Lockett says, I'm not going to return this one. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Now Geno. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Throwing again on second down. Smith looking sideline, incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big third down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now they try the right side here. And they're going to stop it right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Throwing is Smith. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Geno now to throw. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Odafe Oweh able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up 4th down.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Again, it's Ricard, the fullback. And they'll bring him down right around the 13.
Brandon, you know, we're talking about having wrinkles in a game plan. That was a fold right there. How about that play? Being able to change things up. You think anyone else on the team's going to get the ball, and in that situation, they surprise everyone and give it to their big guy.
So a little more space to work with here from the 13 on 1st and 10. Now Jackson going to take off with it. And he will make his way back to where he started from, and that's all, as we will make our way to the 2-minute warning. A reminder coming up in a couple of minutes' time. We'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman, the coach in our EA Sports studios. They'll have a look back at the next-gen stats. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21, and he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. After the interception, here's Smith. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. A great play there. There to make the grab. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game. Well, what a quick turnaround there. They get the football. Next play, boom, touchdown.
I've been in a situation before where a turnover occurs, and if you're over on the bench with your defensive mate and you talk about what to do on your next series, and all of a sudden you hear sudden change, you've got to get out on the field and defend right away. Not everyone is mentally prepared to go.
Is that what is yelled on the sidelines a lot of times?
That, among other things.
Maybe some words we can't share here.
Yeah, we'll just keep this one PG.
FCC violation.
No doubt.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is down to a field goal. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. On the return, Devin Duvernay. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now, he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. Flush to his right. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Well, we've seen Jackson already have success in the first half running the football, and he gets good yardage on the ground again there. I mean, I know it's a $64,000 question, CD, but how do they contain him better?
You have to win against the blockers ahead of you. If those guys even occupy a defender for even a half a second, then Lamar Jackson is gone. You've got to take those blockers and move them so that you have clear vision of Lamar Jackson, and hopefully you can hem him in.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Jackson now. Flushed, and he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Bobby Wagner, multiple times an All-Pro, in there to drop him for a loss. That time, finally, a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, let's run through the next-gen stats for the Seahawks in that first half. And they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first two quarters. That's going to need to improve if they want to erase this deficit. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Both teams going back through their game plans, making their final halftime adjustments. And for the call of the second half, we go back up to Baltimore and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this third quarter. Now, they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. And what's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. 2nd and 8 coming up. And he'll give it here to his running back. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This is taken around the 12. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively, just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what do we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Now a carry for Dobbins. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
But that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going? Crashed down inside and tackled him for a loss.
On third down, Jackson. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense. Draymond Jones, his second sack of the night. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. The last couple of drives have ended in punts. Maybe the crowd minds that, but you're a defensive guy. You're okay with a couple of punt drives.
Listen, I'm the guy that loves a 0-0 pitch game. All right, in baseball, I can handle that going into the 7th inning. I think the crowd, though, they want to see a little bit more excitement. Let's see if someone can break something free on offense and get going.
Offense at a premium the last 2 drives. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them? And do I have enough confidence to make a play?
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now a handoff looking right. And some nifty running there. Ultimately, it doesn't get him a whole lot, but it does take him to the 45. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. A shotgun snap for Smith. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Throwing now is Geno. Eluding the pressure right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
First down, Seahawks.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 50, it's Smith. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another first down as well. Now Smith. Now he'll escape to his right. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end.
16 yards.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Now Gino on first down. And his throw is incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
On 2nd and 10, Smith. This is the tight end fan. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And Myers able to knock it through. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied.
Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
Taken at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this 4th quarter.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23.
And they'll run the option to start the drive.
And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
And they have just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks. And now here's a tackle behind the line.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Jackson running again.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow...
And the pressure gets there. He'll go down. It's a sack. And it is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning.
Jaron Reed in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Now it's Lockett. There's a nice move. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Smith. That is taken in by the tight end fan. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. It's a big play there for Seattle. Charles, just a gigantic play right there.
Absolute breakdown defensively, but take no credit away. A huge gain, and that turns things around.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. They'll try to run this one in. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
At this stage, you've got to hustle, got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
And his kick is indeed good. And they will take the lead at 13-10.
So the victory here for Seattle. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It's